In this video, Laiba will help me demonstrate measuring density, part A, which is density of a liquid. In this part, we need a 10 ml graduated cylinder. We need water. We need rubbing alcohol from your home lab chemistry kit. And we need cooking oil from your kitchen. And we have transfer pipettes for water, for rubbing alcohol, and for oil. The transfer pipette that we have for oil is already labeled with oil because it is difficult to clean, so we will just reserve it for oil for the future labs. Beside this, we need a scale, digital scale from your home lab chemistry kit. And if you want to know how to use this digital scale, a link for the video will be in the description box below, so you can watch how to use this digital scale. And we have our report form ready so that we can document all the data. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do for this is we need to take the mass of empty graduated cylinder. So Laiba, go ahead and show how to take the mass of empty graduated cylinder. You're gonna turn on the scale, make sure it is 0, 0. If it is not, you will tear, and then have your 10 ml graduated cylinder on the scale and record the reading in the report form under trial 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Next, you will move the graduated cylinder away from the scale and add about 5 ml of water using the plastic transfer pipette. You may need to hold the graduated cylinder in one hand. Okay. If you see any air bubble, tap your cylinder a few times until they are gone. Place the cylinder back on the scale and record its mass under trial 1. Next, we will record the volume of this liquid in this graduated cylinder. And if you want to know how to exactly record the volume in the graduated cylinder, you can watch the video in the description box below. So we have this graduated cylinder on top of this chemistry lab kit so that Laiba's eye level is at the level of the liquid. Laiba have to slide down a little bit so that her eyes are right in front of the liquid, and then she will take the reading up to 2 decimal place using this graduated cylinder. Okay, so volume of the liquid is a little bit less than 5, so Laiba is taking the reading as 4.99. Next, you need to find mass of water, and for mass of water you will be doing weighing by difference. So you have mass of empty graduated cylinder and you have mass of graduated cylinder plus water. You will be taking the difference of these two numbers, and whatever your result is will be the mass of water. And remember that there is a asterisk with the mass of water. It means that you have to show calculation for mass of water on the calculation page. Okay, so here Laiba added units for all the masses and liquid. Next, we have to find density of water, and since there is a asterisk, means we have to find density on the calculation page. Density equals mass over volume Okay, when you have this long number in your calculator, we will round this to the correct number of sig fig. We have 3 sig fig in mass and 3 sig fig in the volume. So we will be rounding it to 3 sig fig, and since the last digit to be kept is followed by a number that is greater than 5, we are going to round up and our answer will be 0.998 grams per mil. So now Laiba, go ahead and write down this density in the density column for trial 1. Grams per milliliter. Okay. Next we will do trial 2. For trial 2, Laiba, bring back your scale, digital scale and cylinder. Okay, make sure your digital scale is on and tear and it is reading 0.00. Okay, to the graduated cylinder, add a little bit more water until it is up to like 7.5 milliliter. Okay, now put it back on the scale. Write down the rating of cylinder plus water in trial 2. Okay, and then now next we have to take the volume of this water, so bring back your chemistry box. Yep, and then you can put this cylinder on top and take the reading. Okay, so make sure your eyes are at the level of liquid when you are taking the reading. Okay, and you are taking the reading with 2 decimal places. Okay, so Laiba have 7.50 milliliter water in the graduated cylinder. Next again we have to find the mass of water. That will be by weighing by difference. Here Laiba have completed the calculation for all 3 trials, and wherever it is steric, like for mass of water, density of water and average density of water, you have to show calculation on the calculation page, but show calculation for only one set or one trial, and for rest of the trials you can do it on your calculator. So she have here mass of water calculation, she have the calculation for density, and she have the calculation for average density of water. So Laiba, write down what is the answer for average density of water. Okay, after calculating average density, we will do the rounding to the correct number of sig fig. So the sig fig in our measurements, 0.998 is 3 sig fig, 0.995 is 3 sig fig, 1.00 is 3 sig fig. So our answer will be rounded up to 3 sig fig. And the number that we are keeping, the last number, is followed by number greater than 5. So we are rounding up and our answer is 0.998. After calculating the density of water, you can dump the water from the graduated cylinder, so that we can find the density of rubbing alcohol. Before doing that, we have to make sure that our graduated cylinder is dry, and you can dry it with the help of a paper towel that is folded up, and just put it inside the cylinder and make sure that it is all dry all the way up to the bottom. Once you have a dry cylinder, you can repeat the experiment with rubbing alcohol. And write down your numbers in the trial 1, 2 and 3, and after that dump that rubbing alcohol back in this bottle that we have from the home chemistry lab kit, and then repeat and then dry your graduated cylinder one more time, and then repeat the experiment with cooking oil. Okay, so you guys can do your rest of the densities at your own. Okay, now Laiba will show you how to make a density column. For density column, we will use water, rubbing alcohol, and cooking oil. We already have determined the densities of all these three liquids in the previous section of this lab. So based on those densities, you have to determine which liquid is more dense and then what is next after that. So the more dense will go first. So we have water as the densest liquid. So Laiba, go ahead and add 1 full dropper of water in the test tube. Okay. Next in the list is cooking oil. So Laiba, go ahead and add 2 to 3 mils of cooking oil. Try to use the same amount as you have for the water. Okay, rubbing alcohol is the lightest, so we will add at the top. Okay, here you can see we have a density column. Okay, we can see 3 layers. Now this density column can be used to estimate the density of solid objects. So Laiba, go ahead and put this in the test tube holder and take out the beads that we have and very slowly put this bead inside the test tube. Okay, there is a rubber band as well, but keep that rubber band for another lab. So very slowly add 1 bead. Okay, let's see a quick demonstration on how to determine density of a solid for the Measuring Density Home lab. For this lab, you need 10 nickels. You need your 100 ml graduated cylinder half filled with water, and you need a digital scale, and you need your lab report. Okay, so Laiba, go ahead. The first thing that you need to do is you need to take the weight of your 10 nickels. Okay, Laiba, go ahead and take the weight of nickels. Okay, write down the weight of nickels in gram. Next, you need to measure the volume of the water from the graduated cylinder, and you will be measuring it up to 1 decimal place. Okay, Laiba, go ahead and write down 49.9 mils. Next step is to add these nickels that we just took the weight of in the graduated cylinder. After adding nickels, we will take the volume again. Laiba, go ahead and write down 55.5 mils. Next we have to find volume of nickel, and volume of nickel you can find by weighing by difference technique. So you will subtract the volume of water from volume of water plus nickel, and since there is a asterisk for the volume of nickel, means you have to show this calculation on the calculation page. So here you can see we have calculation for volume of nickel 55.5 minus 49.9 mil. You will be looking for the number of decimal place, because that is a rule for addition and subtraction. So decimal place in 55.5 is 1 and 49.9 as well is 1. So your answer will have 1 decimal place. Okay. After volume of nickel, you will be finding density of nickel. And the density formula is density equals mass over volume, and since there is a asterisk, you will be doing this calculation on the calculation page. So here we have the calculation for density of nickel. You have mass of nickel 50.02 gram, and the volume of nickel is 5.6 mil. You will be rounding your answer with two significant figures, because the least number of sig fig in the numbers that you divided is 2 sig fig. So your answer is going to be 8.9 grams per mil.